Hi there, guys. Cap here. Look at the color on me. Don't I look great? What's happening to me? No! What's wrong? Hey, guys. Hello, welcome to part 2 of our series, Properties of Light. In this series, we're eventually going to get to how to use flashes and how to control lighting for your photography. And by the way, thank you for all of you that are watching so far and left a comment last time. These videos don't do well for YouTube. Any YouTuber that does a tutorial or something that's taught, those videos tank compared to gear reviews and lenses, but I don't care. That's why I love these videos, because everyone who's here and who's watching with me, you actually want to improve your photography. And that's what I want to do for you, is help you improve your photography. So thank you for commenting. Thank you in the last video for letting me know that it was helpful. And that's why we have part 2, because of you guys. We're here for you. Okay, we're here with Cap again. We're on my desk, and here we have a light that's coming from my desk lamp. And if you notice, everything looks kind of orangey. That's because this is considered a very warm colored light. So light is measured on the Kelvin scale, and the Kelvin scale basically tells you that anything in the 2000, 3000 range is very orange. Anything in the 5s is kind of like the sun or daylight, normal. And then anything in the 7000s is bluer or a little cooler. So to fix this, we need to fix the light. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take my little LED light here and I'm going to turn it on. And I'm going to show you that, look at the colors over here. These are all wrong. They're too orangey. But if I splash some correct light on them, we can actually change the temperature of the colors. And this is what the colors kind of really look like. If you notice, Cap's white is all orangey there. Well, let's kind of clean it up with a light that is the correct color for what this camera is picking up. So by the way, right now we have the camera set to quote normal. We have the camera set to a white balance of 5500. Okay, so we have the camera set to this, but the light that's coming from the desk lamp is closer to this. So it's messing up the colors. Okay, let me get rid of the desk lamp and just keep this one on for a second. Okay, now we got rid of the desk lamp and we have this light set to 5500. 5500 is what the camera is set to, and if you notice, all the colors and everything look perfect. That's because we have everything under control. We know the temperature of our light, and we know the temperature of the camera. So everything is perfect here. Now we're going to keep the camera at 5500. This is our control group, what normal should look like. And let's go to 2600. Here's 2600. So we just change our light to 2600 so you can see what that looks like. This is a very warm light. So this is candlelight or old Thomas Edison lights. This is what you get from it. Now this is 7000. 7000 is going to give us a bluer light. And 7000 is like what you get in later in the daylight or shade. And that light is a little bluer than normal. Okay, and now we're back to 5500. So as you can see, a light source can give you a range from very warm to quote normal to super, super, super cool. Okay, orange to normal to blue. All right, so how important is this? Well, it depends. If you're shooting everything in JPEG, everything I'm talking about is a lot more important, super important, very important. Let's say you take this picture and it's a JPEG. Well, it's really, really, really hard to fix it back to normal. However, if you shoot this picture in RAW, you can actually, in the computer, bring it back to normal and it'll look fine. All right, so let's talk about camera settings for the color of light. So you can totally shoot auto balance if you like, and that's fine. The camera does an okay job. The problem with that is that you get white balance shifts. So if you take 5 pictures of the same thing, you could get 5 slightly different colors of things because the camera may calculate white balance in different spots. Get the white balance correct. So now my skin is totally correct because the camera can easily pick up this gray. So as soon as you introduce strange colors, your white balance tries to cool things down. And then here, if you notice, the auto white balance will warm things up if it has enough gray. So keep that in mind. So this one is fine if you're taking one picture of something, but if you're doing a big series of pictures, we don't really recommend auto white balance because then if you have to fix more than one picture or skin, your white balance will shift all over the place and it's a nightmare for fixing. Now your camera does come with some general modes, and these guys don't shift. So for example, if you set your auto white balance to sun, you know what? Let's do that right now. All right, right now the camera is set to sun and the light source is 5500, and you see you get something pretty decent. Okay, now we're set to shade, and look how orange everything got. Why? Well, it turns out that when you move your subject to shade or it's later in the day, the light is very, very blue, okay? So since we have our light set here to 5500, shade is around 7000. And so it's gonna look warmer. Shade will actually look warmer. Okay, and a note on artificial lights. This is a fluorescent setting. So it turns out fluorescent lights are very, very green. So if you turn your camera to the fluorescent mode, the camera sort of makes the picture a little bit more red to combat that fluorescent color. Whoa, everything's totally blue. How come? Well, our light source is natural daylight, and we have the camera set to light bulb or incandescent. So the camera is trying to make everything more blue because it thinks the environment is super orange. So what I'm gonna do right now is show you, I'm actually gonna change the light source to being super orange. So the light source now is incandescent and everything looks kind of normal, right? So well, I'll do the opposite. I'm gonna keep this light at 2600 and I'm gonna set the camera to normal daylight mode. Ta-da! Okay, so the camera is set to 5500K and this is what the light was just doing. So hopefully that gives you an understanding of how you can sort of assess the light that's hitting your subject, and then in camera you can switch your settings. Start with auto white balance when you're beginning, but eventually make it to the next, the auto modes, which are these guys. And lastly, you should start dialing in a certain K. So you can actually switch your K on your camera to match. Now, if you want the most control, you should probably do a custom white balance. So photographers sometimes will take a picture of a gray card or a gray target like this, and then in the camera that tells them that this is the correct color. Okay, and lastly, let's talk about some problems that occur with the color of light. The first one that I see new photographers struggling with all the time is this one. This is a mixed color situation. Okay, and it's a nightmare to edit. I mean, look at Cap's face, for gosh sakes, look at this. Okay, so there's a couple of ways you can combat this. Number one, the easiest one is to eliminate one of the bad light sources. Okay, you could get rid of that one, or you could get rid of this one, and then you're ready to work. Okay, the next thing you can do, if there's nothing you could do about the mixed lighting, is to completely block it off the person's face. So maybe we'll deal with it on the hair and the background. And you can add a flash or put the other light temperature on the person. So at least it's less of a nightmare to edit. Okay, so that's solution number 2. And solution number 3 is the most common that photographers use, is the one light source that's different, you can gel it. And to gel it, you're gelling it because you want to match this incandescent orange, okay? So if I put a gel on it, you notice, it completely changes closer to the color. And now there's no more mixed lighting. So instead of it being like a cooler light, you put your gel on your flash and now you notice everything is gross and orange. But that's okay that it's gross and orange because watch, you take your flash, you gel your flash, and right now I'm gonna change the white balance in camera. Okay, so I set the camera to 3200. So now it's not a perfect match, but you can see that the gross light and this flash that I'm using are both the same temperature. And so we're happy for that. Now watch what happens if I take the gel off. Whoa! This light is so cool that it actually looks blue. Okay, and another problem with the color of light, you may have beautiful, delicious, clean colored light here, but then you're next to a neon green wall. And so look what happens to Cap's face. You see his face there on the side? This is called the color cast. And nothing drives me more crazy than when I see a YouTube video that's talking about colors of a camera sensor, or they're testing, the colors between these two camera systems, and they're doing it in a red alleyway. Or they're shooting on grass. And you'll look at Cap's belly. You see the color cast down there? All right, there you have it, guys. Part 2, color of light. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in part 3 for direction of light. Bye.